Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bruno, and I'm an American that lives in the country of Cote D'ivoire, or better known as the Ivory Coast. Now, I know most people probably don't know where the Ivory Coast is. It is in West Africa, on the west coast, or the southern part of the west coast, near the coast of Guinea, to the north or east, I can't remember. I encourage you to look at a map to see where it's at. It's near Ghana, Nigeria, West Africa. So the purpose, what I've done, I've purposely put off this video for at least a couple years because I want to talk to men like MGTOW, 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 men going their own way, all the red pill guys, all the people who are know about feminism and how it's basically ruined dating in America. And I know that the big destinations that men usually go, if you're just going to go off the top of your head, you're going to go to Southeast Asia, you're going to go to South America, Philippines. I purposely avoided those areas. And I want to tell you why. Those places are already inundated with Western culture, and you're going to find women there that are going to be very Americanized, or they're really in touch with the American culture. And for me, I saw the writing on the wall. So I kind of wanted to put up a couple of firewalls as an, I'm not a tech guy, but a firewall is a level of security. It's a wall that requires, it gives you a little more protection for your computer, right? Or your internet. So I wanted to have a couple of firewalls against feminism and some of the toxic things that are going on in America. Number one, I wanted to go to a non-Westernized country. And that right there is my first firewall, because the culture is different. Now, although the women are all the same all over the world, you're still going to meet women that are women. Just like men are men, women are women. You're not going to find that female nature is any different in these countries. So don't get your hopes up that you're going to find these amazing women in other countries that are just not going to act like women. They're going to act like women. But the second firewall that I put into place was traveling to a place that doesn't speak English. There are very few people here in Cote d'Ivoire that speak English. This is a French-speaking, former French colony country. Thank you. Got roosters out everywhere. So I did those two things because I saw the writing on the wall. If you just look online, you're going to see fucking roosters, man. Every country I go to, I always deal with roosters. So you're going to see online, there's still simps. Now listen, I'm former MGTOW. I was MGTOW for over 5 years. I've been in the red pill community for over a decade. Shout out to Shining Light and Lazarus, Messenger Rising. Just wanted to say hi to you guys, because you guys have, I think, followed me for a long time, and you guys have spoke to me in the past and helped me out. So my point is that I'm maybe some people would disagree with this because I'm in a relationship here, and I have a new family, and I have a newborn baby daughter, and I am heading up a family and starting a family in Cote d'Ivoire. Now that was after years and years of MGTOW, and even went monk for a while, and swore off women. I had to go through all the stages of grief. Because I went through a bad divorce, I went through a child custody. I'm a parent, and I'm alienated from my son, who's 26 now. I haven't seen him since he's 7. I went through. Listen, I would challenge you to find a worse story than what happened to me. I mean, it is the worst that you can imagine. I went through it all. False allegations, bad divorce, lost my reputation, lost my livelihood, was homeless for a long time, was even got into an abusive relationship after that, and then finally I almost called it quits. I was on the verge of self-deletion. So listen, I can relate to how a lot of guys have really given up. And I understand why. We understand that, right? We know why guys are giving up. We know why people are just foregoing relationships, and really, and I understand the deepest, darkest. Maybe there's a level I haven't gotten to yet. Certainly, I'm not advocating. I'm not saying that like I'm retired myself into a cave up on a mountain, and now I'm going to share my wisdom to young men that come out. I'm not really great on giving advice. I can only share with you my story and what I've done, and I have sort of a mundane life now. And I mean, look at me. Maybe I'm like an average dude. I am 6'2". I've never been a Chad. I've never been. I used to be a blue pill beta. Now, if you want to use those terms, I don't like using those terms, but these are terms that are people familiar with. But I know as far as I know, from what I think I know, I've been to the deepest, darkest crevices of low points in my life. And fortunately, I'm 54 years old now. You know, the place. What's been difficult for me has been being a guy that's always been able to attract women and being able to have relationships, albeit unsuccessful many of the times. Matter of fact, every single relationship I've ever had has been unsuccessful. And I'm certainly not here to try to tell you how to have a relationship or how you should conduct your life or how you should treat women or how you should even deal with the opposite sex. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to, I guess my message is that I want to show you that there is some middle ground. So I guess from the outside looking in, maybe people in the red pill community, maybe some of the black pillars would look at me as going back to the plantation. Bonsoir. Everybody wants to talk to me. I try to find a quiet place where I can come and speak, but it doesn't really work. Okay, a biento. See you later. So what I've done is I've tried to put in a few firewalls in place to where I could go back and participate in life again. But I do it with a certain level of indifference. If you're going to be in a relationship, for me, and listen, this is the reason why I put off making this video for a couple years now, because I am in a new relationship, but it's been 2 years now, so I'm past my honeymoon phase. We're not fucking like rabbits like we were 2 years ago. We have a kid. We're parenting now. I live in a modest 2-bedroom apartment. I'm in an African culture to where the culture really makes a big, huge difference in how you can conduct yourself in relationships. So to go back and use some of the terminology from the men's movement, or from Rollo Tomasi and the Red Pill, I am able to maintain my masculine frame here in a relationship, and it is absolutely almost like I almost over prepared for it. My relationship has been so good for 2 years, and I'm getting to know the woman that I'm with. Of course, we have a baby. I had to move things quickly along because I'm 54 years old. I had to revert back to a time, because listen, like I said, I was MGTOW, I've been monk, I've isolated myself, I've put myself in, I'm not a 6-figure man. I'm not a high value man. I don't try to get involved in all those things, because those things most of the time, I'm not trying to be a millionaire. In fact, I'm not even working right now. I collect a modest middle income disability from the military. I was diagnosed with severe PTSD many years ago. So maybe I'm in a better position than a lot of people, because I have the income to where I can move to another country, but I'm certainly not rich, and I'm certainly not able to, jet set around the world or live in luxury accommodations. But, coming here, I used all the knowledge that I had from MGTOW and through all the Red Pill videos and all the YouTube over these years to put things into practice. And that's really my message right now, is trying to put what is the point of learning all the things about female nature, learning about feminism and how it affects society, knowing that, trying to have a relationship in America just doesn't work. So, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Okay, I'm not a genius. I have enough intelligence where I can figure this stuff out. So I certainly I don't want to come on here and be a guru and try to talk to guys and try to tell them how to have relationships and give them advice on what to do and things like that. So, because they say that, the teachers are the ones who, what do they say? Those who can't teach. I'm not saying that guys that teach on the internet are certainly, you got Raul Tomasi and you got a lot of YouTuber big names in the red pill community that certainly know their shit and probably can and do put it into practice. But I can't really be a teacher. I can only tell you, I only want to share my life and my example, Rex, of of what I'm doing and how it's working for me. And not not from a position of, I'm in a relationship and it's a honeymoon phase and I think women are wonderful. No, I'm not saying that. But I do remember that I loved being a parent and I loved raising children before my divorce. And, I made a lot of mistakes back then. And I'm going to try to not recreate those mistakes now. So I'm a guy that has some certain, I have, my age is 54 years old, but over here in Africa, this is the wonderful thing about being a man is that I'm still virile. I can still attract women and I am still young enough to where I can have children. And over here in Cote d'Ivoire, they're generally, it is very, very easy to have relationships with women that are between 18 and 25, 30. Me and my girlfriend, Michelle, and I've introduced her in other videos. She's 20 years younger than me. And I've dated women over here that were even a bigger age gap. No problem. I'm not saying I recommend, being with an 18-year-old, 20-year-old. Those would just get on my fucking nerves. There'll be less things. But the buffer that I have with Michelle is, number one, her age. She doesn't have any connection to Western culture whatsoever. I mean, I can't even talk to her about movies. She's never seen any kind of movies. She's not even familiar with even what feminism is. And this is a educated woman who has her doctorate that went to school in Ukraine, that never traveled outside the country other than to go to school. And she's from a super, I'm not saying this is a dig, but her family is from the village. If I do give one recommendation, if you're going to date someone overseas, or if you're in the Philippines or going to Africa or anything like that, get you a woman that is not from the tourist areas. Get a country girl or one that's from the province, or in my case, the village outside of Abidjan. I can certainly go to the tourist area here, Zone 4, if anyone's familiar with Zone 4. You can certainly go get you a westernized prostitute, paid girlfriend. There's all that here, just like in all the other countries. It just depends on your taste with women. A lot of people, I know why a lot of people don't come here, and that's especially if they're white. As far as all the world attraction on what the top desirable women are, you're talking about Sweden, you're talking about Asian women, you're talking about Russian, Ukrainian women, those types of areas. African women are probably, I'm not saying this as any kind of a insult or anything like that. That's just true. The top desired women are certainly not going to be African women. And they're certainly not the most beautiful in the world, objectively. However, I do want to say that, my girlfriend is beautiful. She is cute. She is attractive. But as I stay in this country, my tastes have started to change, where I can start seeing beauty in people from a different race, especially African women, because your taste will you'll start to get used to the differences and appreciate the beauty that African women have. And listen, African women have great bodies. They do have, there are some maybe that aren't as beautiful. They kind of have a certain look to them that maybe is a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Mundane, very typical of the region. I don't find those particular women attractive. I think I got lucky with Michelle, who, of course, all the women here wear hair hats and the wigs and the weaves. You do have those women, and Michelle does wear weaves and wigs on occasion. But it doesn't bother me because she doesn't put her whole personality and her whole aesthetic into looking like she's wearing the hair hat. Although I have been with some women over here that wear the hair hat, and it's off-putting. The women here are natural. You don't see a lot of. You're not going to see a bunch of BBLs and things like that. Maybe in the tourist areas you could probably find those types of voluptuous women, but in general, African women have great bodies. And like I said, the great part about being white and American, I can attract very beautiful women if I so desired, and half my age. And the biggest thing is, so I just want to say that, you know, I'm not here to exploit anybody. I'm not here, but I am here to take advantage of the culture. I am here to take advantage of the poor economy. I'm here to take advantage of the economy because it makes my money go further, and it puts me in a position of where I can be an authority and the head of my household, with having to worry less about the woman being hypergamous, because being white here is a very rare thing. People will tell you, oh, like if I ask Michelle or I ask other African people, oh, there's lots of white people, people around, there's lots of white people here. No, I have gone months without seeing white people. So their version of what a lot of white people are, and my version of I can go weeks and months without seeing another white person. I have a French friend. I do go to the Zone 4 area. I do see some white people, but it's mostly Lebanese here. There's some Arabic people. So you do see a variety of people, but unless I try to stay outside of the tourist areas. I don't even I live sort of in the area close to where a lot of expats live, but I still stay outside of that because I like to keep my expenses low. And I live in an apartment that's a 2-bedroom. In America, it would probably cost anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 in US. I have a perfectly nice apartment, 2-bedroom, in a decent area that's safe. You know, of course, so the roads are like half dirt, half pavement. But it's a safe area. I can go out at night. I'm not worried about being robbed or anything like that. People generally treat me with respect, and and I'm not a small guy. I walk around, with my head and head on a swivel. I've had people walk past me here, but it's generally safe. And so I try to live a minimalist lifestyle, not completely minimalist, but I don't have a car payment. I don't have any big expenses, other than a loan that I used to travel around a couple of years ago when I was going back and forth to Nigeria. And my Nigerian story is a whole different story. I made a lot of mistakes in traveling the last 6 years. So I just want to share my story with other men and try to let you guys know there are other options besides South America and Southeast Asia. I've already been with Asian women. I had an 11-year relationship with a Filipino woman. I'm not saying all Filipinos are the same, but I generally, because I've dated all kinds of women, I've dated probably over 150 women. I'm not saying that as a brag. I'm saying that as just a matter of fact. I have been with a lot of women, and for me, I'm physically attracted to Asian women, of course, who's not? But I purposely don't want to be involved with another Filipino woman. In my opinion, what I've discovered is that Filipino women and Asian women are very jealous, possessive, very attached to Western culture, and I just find them to be dangerous women. I know that's probably I know that's not politically correct to say, but fuck being politically correct. I'm just telling you what my real opinion is. I have found African women are some of the most feminine, fit, friendly, agreeable, and moderately attractive. And like I said, if you live here and you're seeing these women on a daily basis, you'll start to be more attracted to these women as time goes on. I now look at different qualities in the face because, I'll tell you, and I'll end the video here, but, a lot of African people think white people look the same. I've been told I look like Bruce Willis. Hey, I look like Bruce Willis. They tend to see white people as looking all the same. They can't tell the difference between us. And let me tell you something, that goes on the flip. When I go out with Michelle to grocery stores, unless she wears something bright, I've even considered tying a balloon to her dress so that hangs up so I can find her in the store. Because when I look around, everyone looks the same to me. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just very, and plus I'm 54, my eyesight's not that good. From a distance, African people look the same to me. So when I go out with Michelle, she wears something bright, and so I can pick her out of a crowd. However, I cannot hide. She can find me in the store very easily because usually I'm the only white guy in the store, in the neighborhood, wherever we're at, and I'm tall. Hey, did you know also that African people are not that tall? I'm 6'2", and I tower over everybody here. It's very seldom that I meet some big, tall African man. The African people are actually medium-sized people. I had no idea. That's something I found out coming here. So anyway, I just want to. So I'm not trying to be a spokesman for Cote d'Ivoire necessarily. I just want you guys to know that you don't have. For me, if I was 54 years old, and I am, and going out and I'm getting ready to travel, I would not personally. And I have a friend that's getting ready to go to Southeast Asia. That's where he wants to go. He finds the country very interesting. He's going to go to Vietnam. And I think that's a great choice for him. But I personally, because my goal is different, my goal was to start a family, I purposely put an extra buffer in there by coming to the continent of Africa, especially Cote d'Ivoire, so I could have these two buffers of, number one, out of the West, not being associated with cultures that are, envious or they are very connected to American culture, and number two, getting out from places that speak English. So I personally just saw the writing on the wall and took an extra measure of step so that I can come, have a family, lead my family, raise children, and have a healthy relationship. And like I said, it's been 2 years now. I'm getting to know Michelle. Things right now are perfect. Well, nothing's perfect, right? But Michelle comes from a village, great family, intact family. Her mom, her dad, her sisters are all married. I'm looking at her. She has a big family so, and I'm not taking care of her family. I don't have that kind of money to take care of her family. But, the good thing about having a traditional family is her mom came to stay with while Bella is 3 months old. So we have a built-in nanny. Of course, I take care of her and feed her, and we try to give her a little bit of money here and there. But that's what family's supposed to do. So anyway, I'll leave the video right there. Please like, share, and comment below, and reach out to me. I encourage you guys to reach out to me and say hello. Give me some tips and give me some life hacks back to me. Tell me if you're traveling to Philippines or to Thailand or Vietnam or South America and what your experiences have been. I'm going to continue to make videos while I'm here. This is what I'm going to do, and see you on the next video.
Two love, one love. Which do you like? Huh? Which one do you like? Which one do you like? Which one do you like today, huh? You want to say something? Ah, yeah. Oh, sorry, I made the big noise. You look like a pomme de terre. You're a potato baby. You are a potato baby. Pomme de terre baby. Baby time. Uh-huh. Huh?